Hello, and welcome to FanFiction with Plixs and
Daruka.
Today's fanfiction is Troubled Hearts, Ch.1. Caution, this video and the fanfiction it contains is for 16 years old people or older. So please don't watch or read the fanfiction if you're not 16 at the least. If you do not know me, this fanfiction is based off of the 9 movie owned by Shane Acker and Focus Features. Please continue, dear Daruka.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start with a warning. Here we go. Warning. Multi-9 slash, aka more than one slash couple. Quoting Plixs 1, here's her warning. Here's Chapter 1 to the fanfic that I said I'd do last month. If you don't like the following couples, please stop now. No bashing or whatever. Also, the story may get graphic later on. Just letting you know. The couples in the story are 1 and 2, 6 and 9, 6 and 5, 5 and 9, and then the love triangle, 5 and 6 and 9. Now, before I start the actual story, I'm just going to say, don't support these couples. Personally. I personally don't. I'm okay with you supporting it, so please don't kill me. Okay. Chapter 1, Troubled Hearts. 2 is sitting on the left armrest of the throne with the leader right next to him. With arms crossed, 1 had chosen not to look at the elder due to their current conversation. He'd rather they just stop, but with 2, that was difficult. I honestly don't see the problem, spoke 2 as he swung his feet back and forth. Then you really are a blind old fool, 1 replied harshly. Don't say that. Well, it's true. So you regret last night? Last night was a mistake. So you didn't like the kiss? Quiet you, 1 said as he peered over at 6's room. But the boy was inside was humming, so they assumed he was asleep. However, 1 didn't want to take that chance. I'm saying it was a mistake, he repeated. But you did enjoy it, right? 2 said, looking over at 1. The other Stitch Punk pushed his hat up and didn't answer. 2 sighed. You're even scared of your own feelings. 1 swung his head, sat up and said, Don't talk about me like that. You know this can't work out. I think it could. We've known each other for years now. I've grown really attached to you. Don't you feel the same? Or are you just embarrassed to be even seen with me? 1 slumped back in his seat. He hated it when 2 did that. The only reason 1 was like this was because he didn't want to be read so easily by anyone. But 2 had known him far too long and far too well not to. With no answer, 2 slipped off the armrest and landed next to 1 on the cushion of the seat. 1 felt a bit flustered and managed to ignore 2. With no reaction, 2 laid his hand on 1 and made himself comfortable. His head on 1 and made himself comfortable. 1 became tense and scooted over. What are you doing? You're scared to even be close to me, 2 concluded. It's not you, 1 blurted out, after which she looked the other way. The inventor brought his hands together and rested them on his lap. He sighed in disappointment. You think too highly of yourself. 1 looked back. I'm the leader. I am above everyone else. I have to be. The leader doesn't have to be alone, 2 pointed out. There was no response. 1 had a habit of staying silent when the truth was needed. So 2 hopped off of the seat. It's late anyway. I'll just get back to my bed. He walked down the small steps that led to the throne, but stopped before he reached the floor. 1, there's something I forgot to tell you, he said, and walking right back up. 1 watched the Stitch Punk approach him. What is it? He asked half-heartedly. 2 did a small hand motion to 1 to show that he needed 1 to lean over. Raising an eyebrow, 1 started to crouch over when 2 wrapped his arms around him and pushed his lips against 1's. He had to stand on his toes a bit to reach, but he had a good hold. 1's optics widened as he retreated back to the cushion. Yet even as he leaned back, 2 was still there. 1 was shocked for a while, but very slowly, he brought his arms up and wrapped them around 2's back, pulling his partner in. That's where the real kiss started. 1 held his arm tighter around 2, who gave a little leeway but returned to the kiss. One moved his hand to his rear and gave him a boost onto his lap as they both sat back onto the throne. Now both sitting comfortably, they continued to hold and kiss each other. Small little breaths escaped them as they pulled back. They pulled away, only to have their lips meet again. While Two's arms remained around his partner's one's hands were traveling from top to bottom of Two's back, mostly near the lower end. Then Two pulled away with a sweet smile. Once again, one was speechless as they looked to each other. Loosening his arms, Two rubbed One's shoulders. "Good night, One," he said simply while backing up off the chair and down the steps. The leader observed Two walk back to the elevator until he was out of sight. He found himself just staring at the empty elevator shaft for the next few minutes before he got up and walked to his room. His hand rubbed the top of his head when he lowered it and then lowered it to his lips. Once he had shut the door to his own room, there was a shuffle of papers coming from the far wall. Six slowly slipped out from the shadows and stared at the door, then the throne. The artist turned his head. What did he see just now? End of chapter 1. Okay. Just gonna say this. I'm gonna have little sighs in between me reading this, and I'm probably gonna make commentary and some strange faces while I'm reading it because of my reaction. So just as a fair warning for the future videos and the future chapters I will be reading. So thank you for watching, and please come back for more.
Oh, please.